نحمده ونصلي ونسلم على رسوله الكريم أما بعد. Hadith number, I think it was 14, I thought, maybe 13. I might have it's a wrong number, but anyway, yeah, that's the same, no problem. نحمده ونصلي ونسلم على رسوله الكريم أما بعد. فعن ابن مسعود رضي الله تعالى عنه قال قال رسول الله صلى الله عليه وسلم لا يحل دم امرئ مسلم يشهد أن لا إله إلا الله وأني رسول الله إلا بإحدى ثلاث: الثيب الزاني والنفس بالنفس والتارك لدينه المفارق للجماعة. رواه إمام بخاري ومسلم أي متفق عليه. Abdullah ibn Mas'ud narrates this hadith radiallahu ta'ala anhu, and he says it is not legal to spill the blood of a Muslim except in one of the three cases: the fornicator who has previously experienced legal sexual intercourse, like married men and or the woman; a life for a life, someone who kills someone in retaliation is being killed; and one who forsakes his religion and separates from the community, the apostate. Those are the three situations Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam in this hadith of Bukhari and Muslim mentioned. And the hadith has also been narrated by many other imams, including Bukhari and Muslim. Abdullah ibn Mas'ud, the Sahabi, his name is his kunya is Abu Abdurrahman ibn Abd was his title. And he was 6th person to embrace Islam. His mother came to Islam very early on. And he was the first who publicly recited Quran in Kaaba, around the Kaaba. Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam said, "Don't do it. He said, I want to just recite something." And he did, and he was beaten up brutally, punched on his face several times, and he became unconscious. He was brought back to Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam. His tribe was in there, so that's why he was considered a, since he was shepherd and a weak person, didn't have any special background with regards to the tribes. So Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam said, "See, I told you, Ya Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam, I want to do that again next time." He did it twice, but then Rasulullah, "Don't do anymore." Anyway, so that's him. He then migrated to Abyssinia and then to Medina, so he had 2 hijrah done. He participated in all the battles of Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam, died in 32 years after hijrah at the age of 60. And he narrated quite a lot of hadith, 848 hadith. He was the most knowledgeable of Quran out of the 4 people that Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam said, if you wanted to take Quran, take from these 4 people. And he is from one of those: Abdullah ibn Mas'ud, Salim the Mawla of Hudayfa, and Mu'adh ibn Jabal and Ubay ibn Ka'b. These are from Medina. First 2 were from Makkah. And then when they say Ibn Mas'ud, then it is obviously Ibn Mas'ud. When they say Abdullah, then it means Abdullah. Okay, when they say in hadith, Abdullah narrated as a Sahabi, this would be Abdullah ibn Mas'ud. Although there are many Abdullahs, they're all being Abadillah, all of them being known with their fathers, because their fathers were companions as well. So you would say Ibn Abbas, means Abdullah ibn Abbas. You would say Ibn Umar, means Abdullah ibn Umar. You would say Ibn Amr ibn al-As, means Abdullah ibn Amr ibn al-As. You say Ibn Zubayr, it means Abdullah ibn Zubayr. Okay, but when they say Abdullah only, it means this is Abdullah ibn Mas'ud. And he was Qadi in Kufa, and he established the Kufan school, which was what Imam Abu Hanifa followed through his students. He became the Hanafi fiqh Imam, that literally from the Sahaba, he, Sayyidina Ali, Abu Musa Ash'ari, these are the 3 whose fiqh was, put together by Imam Abu Hanifa, rahmatullahi alayhi. Amazing Sahabi, obviously. Anyway, so the hadith talks about the blood of a Muslim. Now, there is this higher objective concept. Whatever rules you would find in Sharia, whatever injunctions there are in Sharia, they are based on these 5 or 6, according to some. They are called Maqasid al-Sharia. Maqasid al-Sharia, or the higher objectives of Sharia. Either the protection of any rule that you would find, it would either be protecting your deen, hifdul deen, or hifdul nafs, the life, or hifdul nasl, the lineage, or hifzul aql, the intellect, hifzul mal, the wealth, or some would consider irb as well, the honor. But honor is considered in the, you know, maybe lineage or maybe even in deen or could be wherever. But anyway, so you get all those rulings in order to protect one or more of these. Okay. So here, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam is mentioning that the believer, when he accepts Islam, his blood becomes haram for everyone, except in 3 situations. And these are the ones that we just mentioned. And the sanctity of a believer is such of a high level that Sayyidina Umar radiallahu ta'ala anhu, according to some narration, Abdullah ibn Umar radiallahu ta'ala anhu, one of them, he looked at Kaaba and he said, your sanctity is well known. And yet, a believer is much more sanctified than you, Kaaba. Because Allah honored the believer. So believers should be respected and honored just by being believer. Now, if you look at that, you would identify how much honor Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala has put in place for a believer. Then you can't even backbite him. You can't suspect him. You can't harm him in any way with your tongue and with your hands. Allah says, وَالَّذِينَ يُؤْذُونَ الْمُؤْمِنِينَ وَالْمُؤْمِنَاتِ بِغَيْرِ مَا اكْتَسَبُوا فَقَدِ احْتَمَلُوا بُهْتَانًا وَإِثْمًا مُبِينًا. Anyone who harms or tortures a Muslim man or a woman, he has, without them deserving it, he has taken a big load on his back. He is under a big, huge burden on the day of judgment. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala would be very unhappy with him. So you can't even call names to a Muslim. Sibabul Muslimi fusuq, Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam. Qitaluhu kufr, and fighting him is kufr. It's a big thing. Now you can imagine to have bad attitude towards a Muslim in the Muslim society, obviously, or wherever you are, is so heinous a crime, and yet Muslims are completely oblivious to it. And you would find most Muslims do not pay attention to that. They use their foul language towards their spouses. Little fight, little disobedience, little raising of voice, and they would just go out of it. Kilter. They would say whatever comes to their mind. It's most common among the spouses. How ugly that is. But we do. We do not respect. We do not show respect to our spouses. Men, women, both sides. We need to be very careful about that. You sign up in nifaq, hypocrisy. The punishment of adultery. Someone who is married is stoning to death. That's very harsh punishment. Why? That person had already have a way, a means to fulfill his need, yet he went to the wrong way. He could have married a second wife if he wasn't happy with the first one. He could have done something rather than committing zina. Married person committing zina is a big betrayal. It spoils the family. It creates trouble in the society. That's why it's not allowed. With regards to retaliation, qisas, when someone has killed someone, the family has allowance. The family might want to forgive them though. If the family said, I would rather forgive that individual, that it is allowed. Likewise, majority of ulama would say, a father, if he kills his son, he will not be killed in retaliation. Don't kill your sons though, children. What it means, what it means that the father, if he has done that action, that's a bad. He would be punished. It's not that he would not be punished. He will be punished by flogging or by putting in jail or something else. Maybe whatever is appropriate for that individual, but he would not be killed in retaliation according to majority, because father, in a way, is the reason for this man to be brought to life. So in a way, there is some honor and respect given to him by the majority, although minority view is that he should be killed. Anyway, he would have to pay the price, the money. He would be punished in different ways. Imam Malik and Imam Layth, rahimahumullah, they would not accept that there's no, even father should be killed. Anyway, so the bottom line is there's a lot of honor and respect for Muslims for each other. They should not harm anyone. Should be very careful. So killing is only allowed in those three situations. And everything else, if those are only three situations where it's allowed, when they've done really a heinous crime, what would be the value of that individual? It's very, very enormous. We should be very, very careful about how we deal with Muslims, behave nicely towards your family and everyone else, inshallah. Now, you would find people, na'udhu billah, killing innocently Muslims through suicide bombing, through this and that, all haram. You can't do that. No justification for killing any innocent, let alone Muslim. That's even bigger crime. No justification. And you will find people try to justify it. Not okay at all. May Allah give us tawfiq.